Thomas shared his near-death experience, which happened when he was 29, after seeing his mother in critical condition at the hospital. He suffered a heart issue made worse by trauma and stress, was diagnosed at the hospital, and underwent an emergency procedure. Due to his emotional state, he agreed to a light sedation recommended by the cardiologist. However, unexpectedly, he lost consciousness and found himself in a tunnel surrounded by many people. The place was so vast, he felt incredibly small in it. Convinced he was dead, something inside told him he would return. But the biggest surprise was seeing his own mother there. "Hello, I'm Marcus, and it's a pleasure to have you here at Beyond the Life We Live. I hope you feel at home and absorb the lesson from the story we're about to share. By the way, leave a like and subscribe to the channel, as it's very important to us and helps bring more impactful stories to you." It all began when Thomas got a phone call from his father at the hospital. He was told that his mother had been rushed in and that he needed to get there as quickly as possible. He had a close and loving relationship with her, and the news shook him deeply. He quickly felt a tightness in his chest, but ignored it and rushed to the hospital. Upon seeing his mother in critical condition, he started to feel really unwell. After being seen in the ER and undergoing some tests, he was told he had a heart blockage worsened by the trauma and stress of the situation. From visitor to patient, just like that. After a quick evaluation, the doctors decided on an emergency procedure called coronary angioplasty, which happened to be performed at the same hospital where his mother was being treated. Because of Thomas's emotional state, the cardiologist recommended light anesthesia. Though hesitant, he agreed. But once anesthetized, something unusual happened. Thomas lost consciousness, something not typical with that type of sedation. That's when he found himself in a tunnel with many people. There were so many, he felt incredibly small and alone. Though he quickly assumed he was dead, something within told him he wasn't, that he'd return. In that place, many of his questions were answered instantly, as if he were directly connected to something greater. To keep him calm, he felt a powerful presence, and from that presence came the decision to send him back. In other words, the choice wasn't his or the doctor's, but rather a permission granted by a higher authority that existed in that place. Then the tunnel narrowed, and Thomas started to wonder if there was an exit at the end. He described how, in that space, his sight and senses worked as if he were walking in real life, except completely weightless and seeing everything with incredible clarity. But just as he reached the end, a new tunnel opened, and suddenly, something spoke to him within his mind.
From this point forward, it becomes a one-way path. You must not enter, because you haven't completed your mission yet. And despite what lies ahead, remember, you chose to go through it. So go back and don't return before your time.
He didn't understand why he was given that warning, but in the future, the message would make sense. After deciding to return, he quickly realized he was moving back along the same path. But then, to his shock, he felt the strong presence of someone familiar, his mother, coming toward him in the opposite direction, along with that enormous crowd. After that, everything went black. When he woke up, he was in a hospital room, and everything felt fine. No pain, no discomfort. Then he saw his father and noticed how worried he was. What had happened was that Thomas had left the room around 1 or 2 p.m. and didn't return until 10 at night due to complications during the day. Different shifts of nurses didn't know who he was or why he was in the observation room, because there was no chart or record of any procedure done, until one nurse recognized him as the son of the patient who had passed away earlier that same day. Though he never investigated it deeply, Thomas knows that his experience lines up with the time of his mother's passing and his own complications. This made it even clearer to him that what he lived through wasn't a hallucination, but a true near-death experience. Despite the grief and missing his mother because of the message he received, Thomas feels grateful and fulfilled with the life choices he's made, knowing that all the transformation and good decisions only began after his NDE.